Welcome to REELaTVity. On this channel, I'll be doing movie reviews and recommendations from a real-world perspective, done in an immersive way that you hopefully haven't seen before. I also plan on eventually expanding into TV shows and other outlets once the channel begins to grow and I'm able to dedicate myself to it full time. This is the theater room where we'll be doing the reviews. The movie we're going to be reviewing today is Hell or High Water. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Hell or High Water is a 2016 film that falls under many categories. But if I were to narrow it down, it stands firmly as a crime western. Following their mother's recent death, two brothers from West Texas go on a bank robbing spree, targeting the branches of one particular bank, with plans to pay off a loan on the family ranch, which is set to foreclose in the very near future. But an old Texas Ranger and his faithful deputy have other plans, sending them on a wild goose chase, searching and waiting for the slightest slip-up to take down these bank-robbing brothers. Toby and Tanner Howard, played by Chris Pine and Ben Foster respectively, are thick as thieves, no pun intended. And although they're both committing the same crimes, their dispositions couldn't be further apart, which becomes evident very early on in their first job. See, Tanner, the older brother, just got out of prison a year ago, and the unpredictable ex-con is a career criminal, while the younger brother Toby is the mastermind and has lived a more acceptable life, as evidenced by his squeaky clean record. So naturally, the two butt heads about how things should be done and what's necessary. But you think a career criminal gonna listen to a rookie? Nah, brothers are not. And I don't blame him. Toby is making some pretty stupid mistakes which show his inexperience and at times jeopardize their lives. After multiple successful robbery attempts, the robberies draw the attention of Texas Ranger Marcus Hamilton, played by Jeff Bridges, and his faithful but constantly insulted partner Alberto, played by Gil Birmingham. Marcus, facing mandatory retirement, is milking this case for all it's worth, as he tries to stave off early retirement. Alberto, a little younger, sees this for what it is and calls a spade, as he's just not as invested in the case, knowing this isn't going to be his last hurrah. The two clash constantly and hurl all type of racial and old man insults at each other basically the whole time they're together. But you can tell they care about each other underneath all that, given their history together. Nonetheless, their leads are getting them nowhere, thanks to the state of these bank surveillance systems, or a lack thereof. Meanwhile, Toby and Tanner tackle some of their inner demons and feelings towards their recently departed mother. But for Tanner, it's short-lived, as he felt his mother never really cared for him anyway. Toby isn't the perfect example either, as he owes his ex-wife money and he hasn't been around for his now teenage sons. Back to business. Tanner has completely gone off the rails in a scene at a diner, as it seems like the rush of the crimes they're committing is just making him more reckless and unpredictable. Which is dangerous, because greediness is usually the cause of you beginning to get sloppy and slipping up, which is just what Ranger Hamilton and Alberto are waiting for. With all that said, they still have each other's back, as demonstrated in a scene at a gas station and one in a casino, where Big Bro's instinct is still on point as the protector of his baby brother. With Marcus and Alberto still on their tails, and still more moves they feel they need to make, the brothers are beginning to see the finish line, and some redemption for how the greedy bank did their mother as she was growing increasingly ill. As things take a turn left in their last job, they realize a line has been crossed that they may not make it back from. And as news of this most recent heist spreads, it doesn't look good for the two. Not to mention the law is inching closer and closer to boxing them in, leading to a finale that tugs on multiple different emotions as you have become attached to all these well fleshed out characters and get to see them struggle with the consequences of their actions, their failures, and the lack of ability to let go. But some would say both sides chose this life. For the Rangers, I'd agree. But for Toby and Tanner, it may not be so black and white. Because sometimes when your circumstances are dire, you do what you feel you have to. And if you were raised in poverty and now have your own kids, you refuse to let them grow up the same way. And that was Toby's mindset all along. Great story, believable characters, understandable message. A must-see in my opinion. My movie ratings and best performance award will be showing next, so continue watching until the end. Subscribe and like if you haven't already. And comments are welcome as I'll be looking to improve these reviews over time, and I'd like to get your feedback. And I'll possibly even be taking requests at some point. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.